Good afternoon. My name is Professor Bedmanati. I'm from the University of Ghana Business School. I'm the instructor for the course Principles of Marketing, Mktg 301. And I'll take you through these slides. I've divided the slides, the beginning part, into the course overview. I'll also look at the course objectives before I'll take you into the actual sessions of the course. Now, with the course overview, I'm looking at the nature and scope of marketing. I'm looking at the marketing environment, which is section 2. I'm looking at the marketing research, which is section 3, the consumer buying behavior, section 4, organizational buying behavior, section 5, the market segmentation, targeting and positioning, section 6, the marketing mix, product decisions, which is section 7, product decisions 2, which is new product development, section 8, product decisions 3, that will take you to section 9, the marketing mix, which was the pricing, continues with section 10. I'll look at promotion and communication tools, which will be section 11, the marketing mix, which is promotion and communication tools 2, that will be section 12, and then section 13 will take us through the last part, which is the place decisions. I look at my course objectives. Generally, by the end of the course, you should be able to explain the term marketing and some of its basic concepts. You should also be able to state the alternative ways by which companies are practicing marketing today. You should also be able to state the relevance of marketing to both profit and non-profit making organizations. And you should state and explain how the major forces in the marketing environment impact on the operations of a business. And finally, explain in writing the meaning of the 4 Ps and show how they are blended to satisfy customers. So we'll come to section 1, which is the nature and scope of marketing. And marketing has been one of the popular subjects The introduction to this course would give you the background to be able to do more advanced courses in marketing. But what is this marketing? I picked my popular authors on the subject, Kotler and Armstrong. They define marketing as a managerial and social process by which individuals and groups obtain what they need and want through creating and exchanging products and services with others. I look at the Chartered Institute of Marketing, UK. They also define marketing as a process of identifying, anticipating, and satisfying customer needs profitably. Putting these 2 definitions together, we can simply say that marketing is defined in this course as a process of identifying customer needs, satisfying them as a way of achieving organizational objectives. So by this nature and the scope, we are saying that marketing is not about making profit. Marketing is not about the shareholders of the business. It is simply about the customers of the business, trying to identify these customers, what their needs are, and delivering the appropriate value to satisfy them so that the organization can also make its profit. What is then marketed? And that will take us to the scope of marketing. Unfortunately, a lot of people think that marketers market only goods and services. But the scope of marketing is a bit wider than you can think. We market places such as Quackum Park. We market organizations such as the Red Cross. We market people, individuals. You have their PR who market them a lot. We also market ideas, and you know that a lot of motivational speakers are emerging. They claim to possess the keys to certain organizational issues, and then they market them. We also market information. In fact, they are marketing research firms that gather information and process them so that they can sell them to companies and individuals who need them. Marketers market events, and you know that today an emerging area in Ghana is events management. What does marketing do to all of us? One, it helps you to determine wants and needs. I'll come to explain wants and needs as we move on. It also helps to design products. So through marketing, companies are able to identify customer needs and are able to design appropriate products and services to be able to match them. Marketing also helps to implement pricing strategies. In other words, when you have products and they are not priced, they don't mean anything on the market. Pricing becomes the medium of exchange on the market. And then marketing provides a channel for distributing of goods and services. Look at Samsung phones that are produced in Korea. How do they get to Ghana? Marketing provides the channel through which these goods are routed from Korea to Ghana. And then marketing helps to promote products. I'm sure you've been hearing the wonderful adverts on radio, TV, and you know that that is the work of marketers. I'll also take you through the main concepts in marketing. And I ask you, what is a market? When we learn economics, economics will tell us that market is a place where goods and services are exchanged. Well, this definition is right in economic terms, but for us in marketing, a market is not a place. It refers to all actual and potential buyers of a product or service. So if the Chinese businessman says that I have a large market in Ghana, he says that he has a large customer base made up of actual and potential buyers. The jeans market thus refers to all actual and potential buyers of jeans. Needs. All consumers or the market have needs which we try to satisfy. Needs are therefore basic to the survival of any individual. It is a state of felt deprivation of some basic necessities of life. And therefore you exhibit a need when you show that you are deprived of some basic necessities. And that is what triggers marketers to be able to identify what these needs are and then deliver the products and services. So marketing is triggered by the needs of customers. Wants. Economics people will also tell you that wants are higher order or learned needs. But for us in marketing, we believe that wants are the methods individuals choose as appropriate to satisfy their needs and wants. For example, if you are hungry, what you choose to satisfy your needs at a particular point in time becomes your wants. And remember, wants are appropriate, but they vary depending on the personality and the culture of the consumer. Exchange. We all know that marketing occurs only if there's an exchange between two people. And therefore, Kotler and Armstrong argue that for an exchange to occur, some conditions must be met. For example, there must be at least two people. Each party must have something of value to the other. And these values must be, the basis for exchanging these values must be determined in monetary terms. Goods and services. For us in marketing, anything of value that is offered to the customers, provided it has some utility to them, it refers to goods. So when I take you back to the scope of marketing, all the things that I tell you as the scope of marketing, they constitute goods and services. But when these goods are tangible, they can be touched and can be felt. Like television sets, we call them goods. But when they cannot be touched, they are intangible. Like banking services, we say that they are services. Value. Now, you all agree with me that customer value has now appeared in the marketing lexicon. But what is it value? Value is simply the relationship between what you pay for and what you receive. In other words, if we compare the relationship between what you pay for and what you receive, it gives you the value. And so as we move on, we look at value proposition, and this is one of the terminologies. Value proposition simply means the set of benefits that a company promises its customers. It is normally this value proposition which the firms try to deliver to the customers. So once you don't have a value proposition, actually you have no basis to stay in the market. You must define clearly what you are providing to each customer. It is also the differentiating factor that separates the products and services of one company from that of the others. main concepts in marketing continue. We also have satisfaction, dissatisfaction, and delight. Now, normally we assume that for customers, anytime they buy something, they have their expectations before buying, and they compare these expectations against the actual performance of the product. When you compare the expectations the customers have against the actual performance of the products, you can have satisfaction, dissatisfaction, and delight. Anytime the expectation matches exactly the performance, you have satisfaction. But when the expectation falls below or when performance exceeds the expectation, you have delight. And when performance falls below the expectation, you have dissatisfaction. Now move on again and come to difference between marketing and selling. A lot of people assume that marketing is selling. Yes, I admit that marketing is selling, but it's selling and more. If you read Kotler, Kotler says that yes, in marketing, there will always be the need to sell. But the purpose of marketing is to make the selling superfluous. Now, what exactly do we mean? When we talk about selling, marketing, it's all about understanding customer needs and satisfying them profitably. But when we talk about selling, we are talking about trying to deliver these goods to customers in exchange for money. So selling is actually a part of marketing, but marketing is quite broader than selling. Then you move ahead again and you look at what we call the market orientations. These market orientations define the philosophies in the minds of companies as they approach the market. In other words, as companies try to satisfy customers, they do so under certain philosophies. And this part will look at the 5 philosophies that guide marketing, which we call them the market orientations. We have those companies that are operating with a production philosophy. For them, when they are operating with the production orientation or production philosophies, their orientation is that the customers will prefer goods that are available, goods that are cheap, and goods that are everywhere. Now, what they then do is that they focus their attention on producing goods, cutting down the cost by looking at the production processes, and making sure that the goods are widely distributed. Now, the problem with the production orientation is that it does not take into account the needs of the consumers. Then we have those companies that are doing what we call the product orientation. For these companies, their basic view is that they have the best products on the market, they tout themselves as having the best products on the market, and yet the customer does not certify that these products are the best. So when you are a product-oriented company, you go out touting your product as being the best, and yet you don't listen to what the customers say. If you go to the marketing literature, they say that companies that are practicing the product orientation are guilty of what they call marketing myopia. In marketing myopia, all that you say is that marketing practice from the point of only the supplier or the seller and not the point of the consumer. It is only the consumer who can certify that this is the best product and not the company. They have selling orientation. These companies also believe that yes, they are selling, but they believe that if they leave customers alone, they won't buy enough. So they try to coerce them through high pressure selling so they'll buy more of the goods and services. You admit that there's a problem with this kind of orientation. If all your orientation is force people to buy things, irrespective of whether they want them or not, then note that they are going to badmouth you to other people. Then you have those that are practicing the marketing concept. The philosophy of this category of companies is that, look, marketing is about customers. So they spend time, resources to know who these customers are, to identify their needs, and to provide the right values to them better than competitors at a profit. And companies that believe in the marketing concept, which is where modern companies are all situated, believe in 3 major things. They believe in profit, they also believe in customer satisfaction, and then they believe in integrated marketing. Simply, when they say profit, it means that, look, everything they do, there must be a profit motive behind it. When we also talk about customer satisfaction, the customer is always the king. Everything they do is tailored at finding out what this customer wants and providing the goods to him. And when we say integrated marketing, it simply means that all the variables of the marketing mix, which I'll mention later, are blended to deliver value to the customer. And then you have the marketing concept continues from there. Then you have the societal marketing concept, which is the last philosophy. Now, this concept believes that if we allow firms, yes, they will exchange their goods and services and make all the money, but at the expense of society. So the societal marketing concept requires firms to be civic-minded and conduct their businesses in a civic way so that you can have a sustainable environment, sustainable businesses that we'll all be proud of. It doesn't mean companies shouldn't operate at all, but as they operate, they should think about the welfare of the society. You know how galamsey operators are destroying the environment. Are they civic-minded? That is what we're trying to do with marketing here. All right, that will be the end of the first section. Thank you.